Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. There are 89 new cases of COVID-19 in Saskatchewan and no new deaths. 9 of the new cases are in the Northwest, and 2 of those are in the immediate Lloydminster area, where we have 51 active cases. 1,292 cases are active province-wide. 101 people are in hospital, with 12 in the Northwest. More than 770,000 vaccine doses have been administered in Saskatchewan, with close to 49,000 in our zone. Just over 7,000 people are fully vaccinated in the Northwest. A local school came up with an idea that stuck, as they used gum to raise money for the Stollery Children's Hospital and the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. At Queen Elizabeth School, they held a Gum for Stollery and Gum for Pattison Day. The idea for this was based off another fundraising event out of Edmonton.
The last couple of years, I've been participating in an event called Collins Carventure in Edmonton, and it's a fundraiser for the Stollery Hospital in Edmonton. And from that, I thought, how could we get Queen Elizabeth School involved with the Stollery Hospital? So we came up with the idea, we wanted something COVID friendly. So we thought wrap pieces of gum would be perfect, easy thing to do.
With many families from around Lloydminster utilizing both hospitals, they wanted to help in some form. Bi-monthly, they would sell pieces of gum for 50 cents each to the students, and the kids were very excited to participate.
We haven't done a gum fundraiser at the school before, so to get individually wrapped pieces of gum, they were just ecstatic about it. And then the students, they want to be so involved. They want to be involved with the school. They want to be involved with the community. We did over $1,000 for the Stollery Hospital and close to $800 for the Jim Pattison Hospitals.
With the students and staff going above and beyond to raise money for the hospitals, Corn is hoping to expand the fundraiser next year.
We have a fabulous hospital in Lloydminster, and we cannot say enough about its services and staff, but the reality is there are some supports that we cannot necessarily support here in Lloydminster. So having both of those hospitals available is terrific for our community. And so we do want to continue the support. Next year, we are looking at including Lloyd Hospital with it, though. We want to support all 3 hospitals in some way if we can. So.
Individual families at the school also reached out to both hospitals and donated personally. Support has always been strong in Lloydminster, especially with fundraisers. Now Real Estate Centre Lloydminster will be biking 3,000 kilometers and raising money through the month of June for STARS. We go to our Shelby Clark, who got the details.
I'm speaking with Rick Graff with Lloydminster Real Estate Centre about how you're all raising funds for STARS through the month of June. What's all involved in this fundraiser?
Basically what we've done, short story, long story short. But anyways, probably about 4 years ago, we got involved with Cycling Challenge. It's a Great Cycle Challenge, which is a fundraiser for kids with cancer. And we've been involved with that for probably about 3 years now. And it's a cycling thing. So it typically goes on for a month. We go out fundraise for it, and we put personal challenges out there with respect to distance that we're going to travel. So that we did a little bit of brainstorming, and actually Real Estate Centre, Tabor, the whole south end of it, and ourselves, we're all involved with STARS as it is, with different challenges, different fundraising things. And we kind of brainstormed it this year. We thought, not that the Great Cycle Challenge wasn't a great thing, but STARS just as good as far as we're concerned. And we thought maybe we could do something for them to try and raise a little bit of funds. And also we could maybe keep in shape.
So this is the first year that the Real Estate Centre has done this fundraiser?
For the cycling one, yes. We've done other fundraisers and more out of the south with our other branches, but here in Lloydminster, this is our first year, yes.
And if the support is really good with a fundraiser this year, do you plan to have this annually?
I would think so, yes. There's a lot of people out there that are looking for funds. So, whatever we can to do help. STARS is a great one. We've been involved with the Regional Health Foundation, a few things like that too. So, even Bike for Breakfast that's going on right now. That's an awesome thing that's going on, and we're full support behind what's going on there. I know 3 or 4 of those guys pretty personally myself. So, community is great.
And could you tell us who will all be biking for this 3,000 kilometers?
Well, right now it's myself, Rita Baxter, who's the broker here, and then Barry Pellick, he's one of the other realtors here. We also have Bev Spencer here too. She's not into writing, but she's kind of working behind the scenes with us too. So, and Marie, she's helping out too. And then we've got our Tabor office that's doing a lot of the I guess setup with the stars, and they also do all of our online advertising and promoting, that kind of stuff. So makes it a little easier for us. We just have to go out there and get sweaty.
And what specifically are the funds going towards with stars?
Just anything that stars requires. I mean, their medical, transportation, they've got helicopters that got to be maintained. I mean, they've got first aid supplies that got to be held. They got training that needs to be done. So, it's going to go to whatever they require for. It's not earmarked for anything specific.
And how much is the goal that you're all hoping to reach by the end of the month?
Well, we put a person's challenge in there to raise $3,000 and to bike 3,000 kilometers.
And how has support been so far since starting this off?
I would have to talk. I mean, we're only 3 days into it so far. So, we've got a lot of people that say they're going to go online and commit to it, which is awesome. So, until we get in there and take a look at what's actually being contributed, we're not sure what's happening yet. But there's definitely some people that are going to be putting money in there. So, and more the better, I guess.
And why do you believe having this biking for stars is so important right now, especially through COVID?
Well, myself personally, I'm also a trained first responder, and I've been a first responder for probably 28 years. So, I don't get to practice a whole lot right now. But I've got a medical background. The emergency side of it too. So I think it's needed. We got transports that need to be happening. Our ambulance people are, up, can be very busy and not able to do transfers. And a life's a life. If we can save it, great.
And what other options are available for community members to help out?
Basically, it is a link on, if they want to join us and ride with us, great. It just helps us increase more kilometers, I guess. But there is a link on our webpage, I believe, there for the stars, where they can just go ahead and donate. Give us a wave when you go by and stop for us when we're crossing intersections is great.
Is there anything else you'd like to add for people to know about?
No, like I said, it's new to us. So, we're we're learning this one ourselves. Being on a bike and riding, that's old school for a lot of us. But so far today, I think I've done probably close to 40 kilometers. So.
Well, I think this is a really great initiative, and good luck to you. I hope some more people will be able to join in with the biking. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rick.
You betcha. Nice talking to you.
Now our Connor Chan will take a first look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks very much, Jasmine. We could be starting to see some rain over the next course, starting from now, around up until 9 o'clock. We are going to expect to see some rain over the course of the weekend, potentially over the next couple of days. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch at this point, as well, as some parts of Edmonton and Alberta as well. But 25 degrees is what we're sitting at right now. As we take a look at some other temperatures in the area, 25 pretty consistent though throughout most of the day today within the area. 25 in Vermilion, Marwayne, as well as 25 in St. Paul. 20 degrees out in Edmonton, where it is a little bit cooler. They're starting to see those storm clouds starting to emerge a little bit there. Looking over into Saskatchewan, 25 degrees in Maidstone, 26 in North Battleford, as well as in Macklin and Provost, and then 27 in Green Lake and Meadow Lake. All that warm heat in those 30s is now making its way over to Manitoba. Take a look at the satellite radar map. A lot of that is starting from out west, like I mentioned. So Edmonton's getting a little bit of the rain right now. That's going to make its way probably over into our area fairly sooner rather than later. So we could see rain start as early as around 5:30 and then carry over around maybe overnight, stop around 9 and carry over overnight carrying over also into tomorrow as well. Now looking overhead to North Battleford overnight, 13 degrees, a little bit of cloud coverage. Could see some rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow with that high of 24 degrees going into Cold Lake overnight. We could see those showers continuing on into the Lakeland region with 12 degrees going into 21 tomorrow with some rain throughout the day. And then for us here in Lloydminster, 12 degrees overnight, chance of some thunderstorms continuing on overnight. And then we will see some rain, just normal rain for tomorrow with that high of 19 degrees. That's unfortunately what it could look like for the next couple of days here. We could see that rain continuing on into Sunday, and then also again on Monday with that high of 17 degrees. We start to cool off a little bit more, like I have been saying yesterday. We are going to start to cool off, but then get back into normal temperatures starting by midweek next week. That is a look at your weather forecast for now. We'll have more prime time local news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Crop seeding is nearly complete as 97% of crop is in the ground across Saskatchewan. Much needed rain in the last 2 weeks helped farmers with moisture levels, allowing for seed sprouting. Recent dry conditions and strong winds reduced topsoil moisture conditions throughout the province. Most of the crop conditions this week remain from fair to good. More rain is still needed. According to Environment Canada, some rain is expected within the coming week for much of the province. The previous 5-year average for seeded crop is 92% at this time. Now we'll take a look at your ag prices. The AJHL has announced their schedule for the 2021-22 season, with things getting underway at the end of the month with the AGM. Evan Kenny sat down with the Lloydminster Bobcats head coach, talking about the season start, playoffs, and other important dates.
Well, we are now going to be taking a look at the 2021-22 AJHL season as the AJHL just released their calendar for the next year of hockey operations. Joining me today to break this down is Nigel Dubé. Nigel, thanks for taking this time. Now, just starting things off here, Nigel, a couple dates that jumped off the page to me, starting things off, was August 27th. That is when the exhibition season will start. Now, Nigel, hopefully it doesn't go quite as long as what we saw last year, but, seeing that date, are the guys getting excited, and are you excited for this?
Well, I think it's exciting on the fact that, it's something to look forward to now with when things are going to kick off. And, for our guys here, obviously it's been a long time and we're just looking forward to that and the process it's going to take to get there. And then to get back and playing games is going to be huge. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think a lot of our guys, if not all of them, have it circled on their calendar.
And Nigel, just a couple weeks after that, September 17th is when the regular season opening night is. Last season, only 2 regular season games. So I think it's safe to say, the guys and yourself are getting excited to play a few more than that this upcoming year.
Well, I think there too is we're looking at the September start date. I think that's a big thing, looking around at different leagues and what they were looking at and whatnot. I think that midpoint of September is huge for us to get going, back to what would be called normal, right? And then all those things in there. But, we'll go through the process that we have every other year except for last, and that'll get us there and kick things off. And, I think there's going to be more emotion and energy poured into this season than any other season. So it's going to be, again, pretty cliche from the last one, but something to look forward to. And I think it's going to be here before we know it. It's going to happen pretty quick.
And now looking at more of a hockey operations general manager side of things here, Nigel, January 10th, the CJHL trade deadline there, obviously lots of weeks and months heading up to that point, but just in that time span before that date there, what's your thought process like going in?
This year, there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be, out of that first month, there's going to be, some teams that maybe jump out to an early start and some teams that maybe struggle out of the gates. And then, you look at that 8 weeks in, couple months in, those roles could really, really reverse just on depending on what guys are coming in, what's the experience of hockey, the age. We're looking at some kids that only played 3 or 4 games last year as a whole, and it's some from a recruiting standpoint, not only our team but other teams across our league or Western Canada is some provinces didn't have any gameplay at all. So I think there's maybe a little more activity this year than seen before at that January 10th, but it's going to be a unique few months to get things going and get things back to playing games a lot.
And obviously, all of this is leading up to the big moment. March 4th is when the playoffs will begin there. February 27th is when the regular season ends. Now, Nigel, again, this is pretty far away, and it's pretty hard to say, at the beginning of the year, this is one thing that we have to do to be successful. But, going into this season, what do you have to do to make it to the playoffs?
Got to be ready to go out of the gate, and then we talk about being competitive. I think that's a big thing, competitive every night, and making sure that we're going in to win hockey games and doing the right things. And we talked about the core group of guys that we had before coming back, the leadership that's coming back here. The expectations going to be put on them to prepare every day, to make the most of every day, every game. And I think that leads up to that March 4th date that you speak of. And, you got to do the right things, and there's going to be off days and there's going to be on days. But we definitely have to be, ready to go and be ready to go every night. And we talk about changing things here in the border city. And this is a year we look to change that.
And finally, Nigel, anything else that really jumped off the page in your mind that we missed here?
There's going to be an AJHL showcase this July for up and coming junior hockey players. So it's going to be the first one in quite a while here, and be an opportunity for us to get out and showcase our organization to those that were selected for that camp, and an opportunity for our league to showcase itself across Alberta too as well. And I think that'll be a nice camp this year.
And that one will be taking place from July 23rd till the 25th. Nigel, thank you very much for taking this time and joining me. It should be an exciting, next couple months leading up to that August 27th start date.
Now we're Connor Chan. We'll take another look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks very much, Jasmine. We're still having that warm air for at least a little bit longer, and then until we start to get the rain, which we could start to see right around now. That could carry over into the evening and also into tomorrow. But take a look at temperatures out further west. It's a little bit cooler as we are still in that severe thunderstorm watch, and that same could be said for most parts of central Alberta. Edmonton at 20 degrees, 23 in Athabasca and Red Deer, 25 in Rocky Mountain House, and 17 up in Whitehorse. Looking at Whitecourt, looking to Saskatchewan, 27 in Saskatoon, 28 in Prince Albert, 29 for Melfort, as well as in 26 in North Battleford. There is still a little bit of a heat warning as well in some parts of Saskatchewan, where they are seeing temperatures close to the 30-degree mark. But looking up north right now, 25 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, as well as in Flin Flon, 26 for La Ronge, with 19 all the way up in Uranium City, and 13 in Wallace and Stony Rapid, in Wallace Lake, Looking at to northern Alberta, 25 degrees in Fort McMurray, 17 in Slave Lake, 24 in Fort Chipewyan, with 20 degrees out in Peace River, and then 19 we see up in Grand Prairie. So it is getting a little bit cooler up in those areas. Looking to southern Alberta, seeing 30-degree marks in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, 28 degrees in Calgary, and 23 degrees out in Banff. Central Alberta, of course, still are possible with those thunderstorms we could see emerging very soon. But looking at southern Saskatchewan, 28 degrees in Swift Current right now, with 30 degrees out in Moose Jaw, 29 in Regina, and 31 degrees out in Estevan. They could see some rain as well over the course of the weekend. We could see some showers and whatnot over the course of southern Alberta and Saskatchewan. Looking over out east now, Winnipeg did definitely get that warm air that we've been seeing over the last little bit here, sitting at 36 degrees for right now, with 26 in Toronto, 22 in Quebec City, 13 in St. John's, and 19 in Halifax. So lots of cloud coverage throughout most of the country today. Looking at Vancouver, seeing some showers of their own at 17 degrees, 13 up in Yellowknife, and 11 degrees in Whitehorse. Looking at what we are going to see tomorrow, we are going to cool off quite quite a bit. We're going to have 19 degrees expected as our high for tomorrow, with chance of a thunderstorm emerging mostly in the northern parts, but we could see that make its way down into Lloydminster. So we are going to be seeing lots of rain over the course of the next couple of days. So 19, also we'll see that in Marwayne, 21 up in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and Pearceland, with 17 in Vegreville. Looking at Saskatchewan temperatures, 21 in Maidstone, with 24 in North Battleford, 18 degrees in Macklin, and looking up in the further north, still in those 20-degree ranges, with 22 in Meadow Lake, Green Lake, and in La Crosse as well. Now looking ahead to the next 7 days, I mentioned some rain carrying over into the next couple of days, so we could see that potentially on Sunday as well as on Monday. Going on to Tuesday, we are going to get a little bit, starting to warm up gradually a little bit as the week goes on, so that cloud coverage will still hover around us for a while. 23 on Wednesday, 21 on Thursday, and then 21 degrees on Friday. So by midweek, we should be back up to the 20-degree marks, and we should be back towards our seasonal averages, where we will be just a little bit below that for the next couple of days with all this rain that we are expected to get. That is a look at your weather forecast for now. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Will Turpin from Collective Soul is joining me today on Primetime Local News for our entertainment segment. Will, thanks so much for joining us and speaking with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, it's really exciting for you guys. You're getting ready to go out on a tour here with Styx coming up. Tell me about what you guys have been doing to prepare. Has it been quite a lot, or are you just going to go out and wing it, knowing that you guys know each other so well?
Yeah, it's a different preparation cycle because of the pandemic we've been through. So we haven't played a lot of shows together. We got together and played a couple shows around New Year's. But yeah, we've got to actually rehearse more than we usually do. And it's the same, a lot of the same people we know, though, the production guys and all these people know. It's all mainly phone conversations, and we can get a lot of stuff done because we've been doing it so long. And then the package with Styx, it allows us and Styx to talk to one production manager, and it's all amphitheaters and rock and roll. It's all been done before, so it's just stuff we're used to doing. The thing that's different is we really need to rehearse a little more than we normally do because we haven't played a whole lot.
So when the fans are coming out to these shows, will they be seeing some of the classic Collective Soul songs being performed as well as the newer stuff? Do you have a set list decided yet, or is that something that you're still working on?
Yeah, I mean, the set list will be a little bit in flux as we go and move around, but the main framework, we've got a 75-minute set playing right in front of Styx. So the main framework, I always say the outline of the set list is set. And of course, yeah, I mean, we can't go anywhere without playing some of the hits that have become, the soundtrack to people's lives. That's what they want to hear. But in the same breath, they love hearing the new stuff, and we enjoy playing some of the new stuff as well. So we just mix it up.
What's it going to be like for you guys to go out on a full-scale tour after being, locked down for so long? Is it exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking at this point, or is it just, well, I guess we're going to tour because that's what we do?
Yeah, it's definitely not nerve-wracking. Like I said, maybe a little more rehearsing, but we'll probably be on the bus and backstage, and on stage, we'll probably look a little bit like caged animals that have been in a cage for a while. We'll be excited to see each other. We genuinely enjoy being on tour and hanging around each other. So it'll be a little bit like some caged animals getting out for the first time in a year.
What have you been doing during the pandemic and during lockdowns? Have you been working on music? Have you been doing things on your own or with the group, or how have you been getting through the times when we've been stuck inside?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, you look for silver linings when we go through things like this, and who would have thought in our lifetime we'd actually see what, we know is possible, a pandemic. We saw a real pandemic, but I got to spend more time with my family. I've got 3 boys who are all of age, and they're all musicians. So we listened to we actually went back and expanded our knowledge of some of the classics, because it's my job as the father. So we got to listen to a lot of records from beginning to end. And Collective Soul did get together and record another record late last summer, early fall, I believe. And of course, I'm always working on my stuff as well. I own a recording studio in Atlanta. It's Reel to Reel Studios in Atlanta. I'm there 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, working with other artists, working on my own stuff and collaborating with people. So yeah, that's it. You know, I've got options. Even though it was a weird year, there's silver linings, and I got to spend a lot of time in the studio, spend a lot more quality time with my boys, who like I said, are adults now. They're 15, 17, and 23. So we got to we got to hang out a little more and listen to some rock and roll.
So with this tour coming up, I see it's quite extended right into November. After that, would there be a point where you guys reevaluate if you want to do some more dates, or is it something where you just want to get this done and go through these dates that you have lined up and then decide later if you want to go, or are you already thinking past that and thinking ahead to?
No, yeah, when you're Collective Soul or you know, somebody even as bigger and like Styx, yeah, you have to plan way ahead. This year was different. We weren't able to really start planning some of this stuff until the promoters and especially Live Nation, they weren't ready to start pulling the trigger until February, March. But no, dude, we will be planning stuff for 20. What year is it? 21 right now? Is it 21? Or
Yes.
is it 20? I don't know. But we're planning stuff for next year now. You know, now, next summer. You know, it won't be necessarily on the books or scheduled. Our tickets on sale, but yeah, of course, we plan way ahead.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here today. We're hoping to see you in Canada at some point. That's actually the reason I asked the question. So hopefully the dates will keep watching and be able to see that you guys will be coming up here to play for us at some point. And leading with that, what is the best way if people are looking for updated tour dates and for information on the band? Is there one place you direct them to, or just anywhere on social media?
Yeah, it's all those usual social media outlets. Facebook is really strong, and the website collectivesoul.com as well. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and website are the best ones to really go check out dates and links to tickets. But yeah, we certainly will be up to Canada. You know, we have a romantic relationship with Canada, and we love going up there and playing. We've been crazy. We've been probably the only American band crazy enough to tour Canada in January. So nothing's going to keep us away.
Well, that is great to hear. We look forward to seeing you up here. Thank you so much for speaking with us today, and good luck with the tour.
Cheers. Thank you.
You can beat the heat at Bud Miller Park in Lloydminster. The spray park has opened, so when it's hot out, you can bring the kids down here to cool off. Just make sure you're following all those different guidelines that are in place. Weather permitting, it will be open every day starting at 10 a.m. And also now open in Lloydminster, Lloyd Lane's Bowling Alley is open. You do need to pre-book your spot if you want to head out and bowl with your family, but they're happy to be opening up this weekend, so you can head out and bowl. There are a number of signs that spring is here and summer is getting closer. The trees are getting green, the lilacs are starting to bloom, and more garage sales are popping up. This weekend, Residents in Recovery is hosting a fundraising garage sale. You can stop by their office in downtown Lloydminster tomorrow and Sunday. Check out all the great items that make up their indoor garage sale. And when you pick up those items, you make that purchase, you support Residents in Recovery and the great program that they offer here in our community. So stop by and check out their fundraising garage sale this weekend. And you can still get registered for the Stronger for Her virtual 5K in support of the Lloydminster Interval Home Society. It's powered by BioClean Disaster Services and a number of other great local businesses. Get registered now, then starting on Wednesday and running right through to next weekend. You can take on that 5K challenge, whether you want to walk, maybe you want to go for a run here in Bud Miller Park, or maybe you want to go for a bike ride. Get registered and support the Lloydminster Interval Home Society. You can get in touch with them for all the details. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Well, joining us for the entertainment panel is Abby St. John. Abby, there's a few things to talk about. We know that Michael B. Jordan is going to take his directorial debut with Creed 3. Now we know who he fought in the last couple of movies, and we also know Sylvester Stallone's not going to be reprising his role of Rocky. So what other casting news has been there for this new movie?
Yes, so Creed 3 may have found its antagonist for the movie. Jonathan Majors is currently in talks and negotiations due to scheduling conflicts. They're negotiating what about the best way to go about this. But yeah, he is in talks to be Michael B. Jordan's counterpart and his opponent in the ring in Creed 3. And Jonathan Majors, he's coming off the success of HBO's hit series Lovecraft Country, and he's also been in movies such as Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods, and is also set to play Kang the Conqueror in MCU's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium. So he's making a name for himself, definitely, and to have him in Creed 3, I think will just set him apart. There aren't many details of who this character will be, other than the fact that he is going to be Michael B. Jordan's opponent in the ring. So hopefully when negotiations are all settled and contracts are signed, we'll get more details of who this character is and what to expect from the movie. And like you said, Michael B. Jordan is also set to make his directorial debut, and which hopefully the movie will be released on November 23rd, 2022. And also, like you mentioned, Sylvester Stallone had mentioned that he is retiring as Rocky Balboa in the Creed series. So it's going to be, there's going to be a big hole to fill with his character, but I'm sure the movie will be just as successful as the first two.
I want you to see with Jonathan Majors' character, maybe he's like a rival of Creed's from years past, maybe, or he's a up-and-coming guy that could steal the spotlight, maybe that old and young kind of concept. Maybe he's taking over the reins there, but I guess, like you said, we'll wait and see. Another thing we're going to have to wait and see for is Indiana Jones 5 is finally getting underway, with production expected to start very, very soon. Abby, this movie has been in development for a long time. Steven Spielberg said he was going to direct, but then now recently said he wasn't going to, so James Mangold, who directed 4v Ferrari, is going to take the helm as well. So now what do we know and what we could expect possibly with this long-awaited Indiana Jones film?
We don't know too much other than that this is the 5th and final installment of Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones franchise, and it's scheduled to begin production next week in the UK. And this comes after set photos were leaked on Reddit. So people are already starting to get a sense of the movie and, you know, something to be excited for, especially if you're a big fan of Indiana Jones. Now, joining the cast, there's a few cast members that haven't been in the series alongside Ford, and that is Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen, Boyd Holbrook, and Shannette Renee Wilson. And it's currently set to be released July 29th, 2022. And like you said, it will be directed by James Mangold, who is stepping up after Steven Spielberg announced last year that he was stepping down as director, but he will still be one of the producers of the film. So he's still going to have a little bit of input there, especially since he's been in the director's seat for so long with this franchise. So there's not much else detail-wise about the film, other than that it is the final installment of Harrison Ford's franchise. So it's going to be exciting, especially for longtime Indiana Jones fans, once we get more details about the plot and what to expect.
And also, too, you know, hopefully this movie does redeem itself from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which did not receive favorable reviews from critics and fans. And, of course, it'll be nice to see how they send off Harrison Ford in his final movie as Indiana Jones. Abby St. John, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.